Ever since the day of swearing in, like I did said before, when I have a very short time of government, you want to be as specific and as swift as possible. And that is what we have done as the 88th Guild Government of Makerere University. Ever since the day of institution, we have been able, one, to log or to start the famous Mark at 100 Guild Dialogue series, because the university celebrated the 100 years last year. The Students Guild will be celebrating 100 years this year. So in honor of that, but to bring back the Makerere that we know that influence national leadership, we have used what we call the Mark at 100 Guild Dialogue series, where of course members of the public, the students, members of management dialogue, but most importantly, debate on issues affecting us as students, but issues affecting Ugandans at large, and deliberate on those, because that is how we think the country can benefit from our intellect as the students of Makerere University. It's a non-political venture to tap to the vast intellect of Makerere University, and we had the first series. The next series is going to be on Friday, and we're inviting all members of the public, all members of parliament, the civil society, and students themselves stand out in large numbers to listen to our well-selected panel who will be discussing the housing plan, the housing policy of this country. How effective is it to students, fresh graduates, the police, and low-income earning families? Secondly, we have lodged in, and we are already making preparations for the Mark at 100 Mark at 100 caravan, where we reach out the 13 original districts of Uganda who contributed money to start Makerere University in 1922. So we are saying, can we reach out to thank these districts? Can we make the country feel the presence of Makerere University? Can we make the rest that the Makerere University is still that university for them, that they were able to put everything on the line for about 100 years ago? And then secondly, we have been able to probe management in the most friendly way possible, for them to first of all disclose to us when they're planning to start renovating Lumumba Hall after closing it for over 2 months now, when they're planning to when they're planning to finish the renovation, and what is the nature of the renovation going to take place, and what is the fate of the other halls of residence as they lie in their terrible states, or what is their fate in terms of renovation of halls of residence. So I wrote the vice chancellor of Makerere University, and was able to write to me in feedback that the renovation will commence and the next financial year, the third quarter, after the third quarter of the financial year, then the renovation will take 1 full year, and the renovation is a full renovation, while the other halls will face a phased renovation. The letter will be out today because I picked it from his office earlier on today. But also the things that are waiting to be commenced. One, we plan to start the caravan movement, where we reach out to the 13 original districts of Uganda. But the 88th Guild government has an activity field plan, and among them was one of the things we are lodging for management to provide us in our term of government with a comprehensive plan for next lecture rooms. I have urged before that the university that marks 100 years but still suffers in inadequacy of lecture rooms has its priorities misplaced. So we plan to place the priority of this university very right. And before we leave this office, we want to promise Makererians that management would have come up with a comprehensive plan to provide for students to have lecture rooms, not halls of residence as lecture rooms. We're on that plan, and before we are done, we shall. Secondly, we are saying that at Makerere University, the government student receives 4,500 as food allowance. And now, if the student is humble enough to eat beans the whole semester, the student can only eat one meal, because a meal of beans is 3,500 at all restaurants around Makerere University, and that is the cheapest. Others go up to 7,000. So imagine a very humble student of government sponsorship only gets 4,500, and that is one meal. Let's assume the 1,500 is for breakfast. The student will go with that supper the whole semester. So we have developed a comprehensive plan to probe government directly or with the help of management to increase the allowance of government students from 4,500 to 10,000. I have been able to assemble a council of all guild presidents in this country of all public universities. We held the first meeting already, and the second meeting is taking place tomorrow for all guild presidents, the vice presidents, and finance and information ministers across this entire country for all public universities. And we are scheduled to meet the Parliamentary Committee on Finance and Planning, and also a press conference to present our case and explain in detail how ineffective government is if it does not realize in financing government students. Thank you.